Happy Monday. What's up, y'all? It's me, Erica. It's Monday. Hope everybody had a good weekend. What's going on? We are here. We are talking about, I'm going to try to do 2 videos today. Finally got to watch Real Housewives of New York City. And so we're going to talk about that. And then we're also going to talk about Married to Medicine, LA. And it was actually a pretty good episode. I don't know what's going on with this lady. Come on, honey. What are you doing, girl? What are you doing, dear? All right, so I hope everybody had a good weekend. Did y'all see that lady going off in Target? She said it was her right to F-ish up. Did y'all hear her? With her $40,000 Rolex. She felt because she had a Rolex, she was able to F shit up. She was tired of seeing the mask all in Target. Some people are really mad about all of this stuff that's going on. There's some people who don't believe it. There are people who have actually been affected by it who are like, you guys are crazy. It's a lot. It's a lot going on in the world. And these people, these people whose ancestors came and were created in the Caucasus Mountains, child, they acting a fool. They are acting. Did y'all see Farrakhan's I wanted to call it a State of the Union address, girl. Message to the world. That's what it was called. It was actually like almost 3 hours long. He kept saying, I'm not going to hold you. And in closing, he said that about 3 or 4 times, baby. Every time he said it, he talked another 20 minutes. I was like, yes, Farrakhan, you like me, honey. Because we'd be like, okay, it's time to go. And we talk another 10 minutes, another 15 minutes. You know how it is. Sometimes you just got to keep going. Sometimes spirit is talking through you and you just keep going. And you just, until you're done, then you're done. He spoke a lot about everything. He addressed people directly. Trump, Dershowitz, he called him Satan disguised as a lawyer. Baby, I was like, honey, get him together. And he wanted to make his final. He said this is it's gonna be a long time before he talks again. He's almost 90 years old, so this probably will be the last time we see Farrakhan speak in like that kind of form again. Probably he'll be like, if he does any other interviews or speeches, it'll be like smaller, I guess. But there was a point in time where he was having a hard time standing, so they had to go get him a chair. I feel like as old as he is, he should have been in a chair from the beginning. That's an old man who is dealing with cancer. And he talked about that. He spoke to the Jews. He says, I'm not talking to Jews, I'm talking to so-called Jews who use their religion to do fuck shit. I mean, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So that's what he was talking about. It was a really good address. What did you guys think about it? Did you watch it? It's on YouTube. Revolt was streaming it live, and he didn't need Fox Soul. I don't even know why they went to Fox Soul anyways. I really don't know. But Fox Soul got scared because the Jewish people were like, no, you cannot have him streaming on Fox Soul. We're not going to do that. So he streamed live on Revolt. Shout out to Revolt. And it's on YouTube now, so you can go watch it. It's long, but it's actually it's a really good conversation. It's a really good conversation. What else happened over the weekend? They let the Asian cop who assisted in the murder of Floyd, they released him last night. And there's so many things that are going on. I have just been seeing all of these weird videos of just cops being cops, and it's just further proof as to it's just messed up. And folks got to get their stuff together. They really have to figure out what to do with these cops, hiring practices, training, people who have you basically 3 strikes and you're out should be a rule. These people should not be able to move from one department to the next just to take their bad behavior from one department to the next. They shouldn't be able to do that. So there are a lot of things that need to happen. Look at that little chocolate dog. There are a lot of things that need to happen to correct the police. And there are a lot of people who don't are unable, because it's been so ingrained in us, the way that they function throughout history, that oh my God, what will we do without them? I mean, it's like you're asking a terrorist organization to continue to, and the couple of the few, with the exceptions, that have a little bit of compassion. It's like, it's so weird. And then those cops who took a picture in front of Elijah McClain's area where he was murdered. It's like, you guys really have it's like, these are people who are supposed to be, I don't even want to get into it. Okay. Because I don't even want to get into it. So let me stop myself right now. All right. So let's talk about Real Housewives of New Jersey, see how long that goes. And then we can talk about Married to Medicine LA. All right. I'm looking at this car. She can't decide what she wants to do. I don't know what she's doing. But girl, what's going on? This is episode 12. So they're having a Halloween party for Halloween. Girl. They're having a Halloween party for Halloween. And at the beginning of the episode, they're talking to Dorinda and Ramona. They're talking about Ramona's birthday party that's coming up. And Elise was like, girl, Leah was like, you've known Ramona 20 years. I don't see why you guys keep acting. Every year you act like you're surprised by her behavior. Ramona is self-centered. The world centers around her. She's very selfish. She's really selfish, but I've seen glimpses of Ramona being a good friend to these women. But when it comes to her, I don't know. She's just real selfish. I don't really like Ramona Singer's personality. I really don't like it at all. She is 63 years old, a Scorpio, November 17th. She don't care. Like, she just doesn't care. And I'm not saying anything about Scorpios. I'm just saying Ramona just doesn't care. Ramona's very judgmental. She sits there and she judges people. But it's like, honey, I was with Avery. Avery at one point was in the back of Ramona's interviews and was like, girl, stop talking about Elise. You spending your whole time talking about Elise. Talk about something else. She was in the back washing dishes. I was like, come on, Avery. Because it's like, what are you obsessed over this woman for? How old is Ramona? What did I just say? 63. Child. So Tinsley's moving to Chicago. She was like, I guess she gonna have something. I don't know. Tinsley moved to Chicago. I just put moved to Chicago. Ramona meets with her matchmaker, Rory. And she says that it's hard to find a man who is worthy as she is. Now, when she was having this conversation, I understood. Now, I'm not in the same socioeconomic level as Ramona Singer, but I understood that some men, the little the diva has, some men cannot take a woman who has more than them. She was like, she brought him over to her apartment and he was like, oh, you really take care of yourself. She was like, honey, he ain't seen the house in the Hamptons. I was like, yes, Ramona. Baby, you really gonna feel insecure when you see this house in the Hamptons, girl. And that's just what it is. That air feels so good. Okay. So she says, men can't handle it. She says, but the more time she spends with herself, she realizes that she doesn't really need anybody, and somebody needs to add to what she already has. There's not a necessity for a man at this point in her life. He is his, and I'm thinking, like, maybe you go get a younger guy so you can fulfill your physical needs, right? Because these old men, they're, set in their ways. Their hairline is receding. You gotta wait. How long you gotta wait for the Viagra to kick in? Like, girl, we don't have time for all that. I'm 63 years. She's 63 years old. She's very active. She's out and she wants to be the center of attention. She's very, these are all my friends. Honey, at least gets her together next week. I can't wait. These are all my friends. And I understood what she was saying. So, did anybody else understood what Ramona was saying? Like, if a man is going to come into my life, he's going to have to add to it. It's not going to be, and he's going to have to be okay with what I have. And he's going to have to be secure enough to be okay with what I have. And she's saying it's okay to be alone. And it's so funny because I saw kind of like a theme in this episode where Dorinda had a conversation with her daughter. And I'll get to that. Okay. So Sonia and Elise go out to eat. Sonia looks really good in her interviews. She looks really good in her. I was like, Sonia look actually the best in her interviews than Dorinda. Dorinda in her staged interviews, like her real produced, not that she done on her own, before all of this stuff was happening, she looks refreshed. She looks free. She looks stress free. But in the interview, Sonia looks the best. What do y'all think? I think Sonia looked the best out of all of them. She looked fresh and everything. How old is Sonia? Yeah, Ramona Singer is a trip. Sonia Morgan is, girl, how old is it? 56. She looked good in her interviews. Anyways, so Ramona, she's saying that Elise is saying that when it comes to Ramona basically uses her for her emotional labor. She does a lot of emotional labor with Ramona, and it's nothing in return. After she's done with you, there's no need for you anymore, so she discards you. That's a little narcissistic. I think that word came up in next episode because I heard Dorinda correct somebody and was like, it's narcissistic, girl. Like, are you trying to call me that? Okay. All right, girl. So she was like, in Ramonaville, there's only one-way streets. And I think we at this point, you've known Ramona, 20 years? You've continued to contribute and participate in the friendship. You are well aware of her behavior. So you're going to take her at this point. You're going to take her as she is. Now, should you be vocal about mistreatment? Absolutely. But do not expect her to change. So it's just basically you going to be like, girl, you hurt my feelings. And then she's going to be like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean that. And did you see Ramona at that party? She was like, I don't know if she was drunk or what, but she was just like, what do you want me to, what kind of friend do you want to be to me, darling? I was like, okay, Ramona, bitch. Okay, girl. Yeah, I wrote Sonia looks good in her interviews. Look at that German Shepherd. Now, ain't nobody messing with that lady, honey. That lady walking with her German Shepherd, she got him on a short leash, too. And he's looking around. He is really looking like surveying the scene for this lady walking. And he's right in step with her. And he looking around, looking this way, looking that way. When walking this way, he keeps looking behind her. So, girl, you don't have to worry about that dog not protecting you. Okay, so Dorinda and her daughter, Hannah, go out. And it was cute. They were on the street and she was like, put this jacket on. She was like, no. She was like, I'm cold. And she was like, just put the jacket on or whatever, girl. We just walking down the street. So they get to the burger place and Dorinda shares with everybody that she loves sauces on her burger. She says she cannot live without mayonnaise. That makes me, it makes me, just thinking about that. It's just so gross. Like, anyways, so she says that she was really sad because she didn't have anyone. And she said that I love that Hannah told her this. And Dorinda really looks, I think a lot of ladies don't realize what they look like running after men or looking for partnerships so desperately, how they look to their children, especially young women like Avery, like Hannah, you know what I'm saying? And how you look to your mother, and they're telling you as young women, like I remember I used to tell my mom, like, don't do that, don't do this, don't do that. Yes, of course, I've grown up and made not quite the same choices, but similar when it comes to men. Not really similar, but like, I just really didn't, like, how you dealing with this? This nigga ain't shit. Why are you dealing with this? This is ridiculous. You'll be better by yourself. But so many women see the value in partnership, and especially white women. Like, I was talking to Nathaniel and I was like, you know what? My mother never really encouraged marriage. Like, I've never had a conversation with my mother like, okay, make sure you get married, make sure you find a man who can take care of you. I think, and then I was talking to him as I was like processing it, I was like, I think it's because maybe I've always been very rebellious since, girl, Girl, what are you saying? No, what? I've just always been very rebellious, and there was always this theme playing with my mom, like, you're a rebellious child, you're rebellious, you have a rebellious spirit. And it's true. And so maybe she didn't encourage that, because she probably said, ain't no nigga gonna be able to tell her what to do, because they really weren't. No one has ever been able to really come in and been like, and I've been felt safe enough to I don't want to be release that need to protect myself. No one man has ever made me feel like, whew, I can relax, child. Like the girls say on the channels, rest in your feminine. Like, you understand what I'm saying? So I've always been like, I don't know. So I was glad to see Hannah tell her mother, you've been a better role model to me as a single woman than you running around like a chicken with your head cut off looking for a relationship. And and it made Dorinda cry, because it's like, you don't even realize your child is looking at you. Girl, don't do that. Why are you with John for this long? And you know he really ain't. His Viagra still ain't kicked in. Child, he probably takes Viagra shakes in the morning. He looked like he got an old you know how they describe Harvey Weinstein? Have y'all heard how they describe Harvey Weinstein's thing? Have y'all heard it? That's what John gives me. John gives me Harvey Weinstein, not the pedo or he gives me like, oh, he's not a pedo. That's Jeffrey Epstein. Child, I'm getting these sexual abusers mixed up. Just somebody who is just aggressive, sweaty, just gross. That's what John gives me. So I'm like, I understood, and I was like, yes, Hannah, you understood when you're looking at your mother and she's making these decisions, and you're like, I would never. I couldn't do that, girl. So the fact that she told her that was funny. And that little joke where she was like, well, you remember when you had that party at Rikers Island? And she was like, Rikers Island? She was like, you mean Randall's Island? She was like, girl, she was like, Rikers Island, that is a jail. That was so cute to me. Leah was talking about co-parenting with her and Rob. And when she got pregnant at 25, she did not want to get married. She is a Virgo. Now, in my experiences and in my studies, Virgos, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, in your experience, Virgos typically aren't open to marriage. They're not the marrying type. They're really like, partnership is good, but marriage, I don't know. Like, you gotta be something fucking special. You gotta be special. Yeah, or it has to be a good business choice. Let me know if I'm like, some Virgos are just really like, about marriage. Okay, I'm good. Like, okay, we could be partners and stuff like that, but all that walking down the aisle and all that foolishness, no. So she said she's 25. She didn't want to get married. Rob was saying how much her mother is a mother figure to him, because he didn't have a mother figure. And they kicked her out when she was 17. She said her mother says no, it was 19. And her daughter was like, you were still at home at 19? She was like, well, I should have been in college. And technically, if I was in college, I would have still been, dependent on my parents. So them kicking me out. So there's some resentment there. And I think that Leah and her mom should probably do well in therapy. And she was like, sometimes you marry your father, girls end up marrying their father. And, her daughter was like, ugh. She was like, no, marrying somebody like your father. And but I married somebody like my mother. Like, he is like her mother. So that's probably why she holds on to him for so long. But they seem to have a healthy co-parenting relationship. Shout out to all the people who are having healthy co-parenting relationships. Leah goes and gets her Halloween makeup done. She says she's 10 minutes early because she's a Virgo. That's one thing, honey. We will be early for some mess. On time. I do not like being late. I used to attribute it to my grandfather, because he used to be like, set your clocks 10 minutes fast. But this was before, like, everybody was on the same time. Like, I really wish that I can change my cell phone to 10 minutes fast. Anyways, Luann, the Halloween decor is a voodoo theme. It looked dope as hell. I was like, whoever decorated this, they did such a great job, just all throughout the themes, the Catholic themes in there. They had it together, and it was so. Did you hear Ramona said she had to look up what voodoo was? All right, Ramona, she gets dressed. I don't know what Ramona had on. It was more wizardry than it was voodoo. I didn't get her outfit. I didn't understand it. It was more like Disney evil princess, like that. That's what I got from it. Jill Zarin showed up. Jill got a fiance, honey. She didn't waste no time. And she doesn't have to, child, honey, because, honey, these niggas, they'll invite the next bitch to your funeral, child. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, she gets in. My priest wouldn't like this. Girl, it is a Halloween party. If your priest wouldn't like it, he wouldn't like half of the shit you do, Ramona. Like, that kind of judgmental stuff, I can't really get with that. So Ramona arrives early because she sent a text to everybody that it's not even her party. She sent a text to everybody saying, why don't we get there at 7:30, because she has another party to go to. Bitch, this is not your party, number one. Number two, you really showed up at 7:30 thinking that everybody was going to show up at 7:30 just because you said to show up at 7:30. This is not your party. You don't get to tell the people when to show up, girl. I was like, she's a trip. She is too entitled for me. Did you hear Ramona say that she was getting lit? See, these people don't even understand. Just like I was watching, who was I watching this weekend? And the girl was like, y'all be saying black shit and don't even realize that as much as you can't stand, your whole little vernacular has changed and you're using words that we use in our language. Getting lit? You 56 years old, lady. White lady. You was getting lit, girl. She was like, we was getting lit. I was like, okay, Sonia. Dorinda looked cute. Dorinda had on like a skeleton, like sheer thing with like a gold bustier. She looked cute. Her hair was cute. Her makeup was good. Her makeup looked good. Jill Zarin showed up. Sonia was complaining about Ramona being a one-upper. I can't stand one-uppers. I cannot stand that. Somebody who always either has done better than you or has had a similar experience and their experience is slightly better than yours. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh my God, I had that too, but mine was da 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 da. You know what I mean? Or yeah, me too, but, and she reverts, or she circles everything back to herself. Very self-centered, very just self-centered. She says the best thing that you can do is just ignore her. She's the kind of friend that wants you to do well, but not better than her. They had some kind of German word for it. I can't remember the word, and I'm not going to even try to pronounce it. But you know those type of people. They want you to do well, but not better than them. And those are like those kind of friends. I don't know if you guys had a friend like that, have ever had that experience in a friendship or a relationship with somebody. It's exhausting. Like, girl, okay, we get it. You've done it before. You've done it. I knew this girl who used to do that. And it came to a point where every time she said she's done something similar to what somebody else done, I used to be like, I think you're making that up. Because on top of that, she was also a fabricator of truth. So I used to be like, I think that's made up. She's getting mad at me. Girl, I still think it's made up. I think it's made up. It's impossible for you to have every experience that I've had, in addition to it be just a little bit better than mine. Girl, get out of here. So they're mad at Ramona because Ramona is going to have a party and she is not sharing the party with Sonia. And their birthdays are around the same time. Are they? November 25th, November 17th. Yeah, like, they're a week apart. So why aren't you having, like, girl? But to Ramona's, this is my birthday. If you want a party, throw yourself a party like I'm throwing myself a party. And that's just what it is. And I was with Ramona like, girl, if you want a party, you ain't got to tack on to mine. And you ain't got to make yourself feel like I'm leaving you out. If you want a party, have your own party and invite all of your friends. This is a party for me. I'm inviting all of my friends. All right. So that was it with that. And then Luann shows up. Jill and Leah also show up. They meet Rob. Rob is a priest. He's really little. He is a short person. Leah and Sonia are getting into it. Sonia saying that how Leah gets on her nerves and she's getting in her face. Sonia is drunk, like she had been drinking beforehand. Ramona said that Dorinda is bipolar. She does not like the way Dorinda came at her. Dorinda said that she's self-serving. She brought Missy. Missy is the ex-girlfriend of Luann's ex-husband. That was shady. That now, do y'all think she should have brought? This is Luann's ex-husband. Luann's ex-husband's ex-girlfriend. Ramona brings her to Luann's party. Any other housewife would have done that, y'all would be highly upset. Ain't no way in the world. That's rude as hell to me. That's rude. Like, girl, did you really? And then, like, even Luann was like, I really don't care, but, like, why would you bring her? Like, girl, this is my, I mean, even though it was her husband for 5 minutes, I mean, we could get into that, honey. We really don't have to. But this is the girlfriend of my ex-husband. And she was like, Ramona's like, she doesn't have Tinsley to bother, so I guess she's bothering me. But Dorinda gets up. Oh, and Dorinda sits down next to, what's her name? She was like, I brought William, and William is that young guy. And she was like, I brought William, Ramona. So they were like, at first I didn't realize why Dorinda was making that joke, but then later that's when Luann said, that's my ex-husband's girlfriend. Crazy. She said, just ignore them. And then when Dorinda mentions to Ramona her issues about the birthday party, Ramona says to Dorinda, are you drunk? And Dorinda had just got there. And to me, I feel like when people say that, it's very dismissive. It only makes a person more angry. It is very dismissive to when a person is talking to you and then for you to turn around and ask them, are they drunk? Bitch, I just got here. Yeah, I'm not Sonia, but I just got here. Don't ask me if I'm drunk because you don't want to talk about what I'm bringing to the table. Don't dismiss me like that. I don't like that either. But Dorinda was out of line, standing up, ringing the bell, and then calling Ramona out. First of all, this is not your party, number one. Number two, you're ruining the entire mood with your issues because that woman asked you, were you drunk when you walked in? Yes, she was rude, but what you did was more rude. Ruder. Whatever the word is, child. Wrong place, wrong time. Ramona is now the victim. She's sitting there and everybody's coming up to her asking if she's okay. No, Ramona is fine. She knows exactly what she's doing. She does those little things. She knows exactly what she's doing. Just like Phaedra knows exactly what she's doing. They be doing exactly what they're doing. And then when she was talking about Elise, that's when Avery was in the background and told her to shut up about it. And that was pretty much it with the episode. It was good. I, kind of missed the girls, you know what I'm saying? Hadn't seen them. And we're going to see what's going to happen next week. They go to the Berserkshires and we're going to see, because I don't know if they need to do some cleansing in that house, but baby, every time they go up there, they really act a fool. And they showed Luann going into that fish room again. Anyways, but that's about it, y'all. Take care of each other. Protect your energy. Let's get down in the comments. Peace.